Just leave, Balogun. just go, mate. Just go. Do yourself a favour. Do yourself a favour, Balogun, and just go. Because it is pointless having a player like yourself that wants to make attacking runs, wants to go forwards when you're surrounded by players that are just passive. Hello. Welcome to the Gooner Talk. Back again with you guys for another show after Arsenal have been beaten 4-1 by Manchester City in the League Cup quarter-final. Weren't expecting to win this game, but there's just a little bit of annoyance around this one. I wasn't expecting to win it, don't get me wrong, but there's just a little, it's more than a little bit. There's a lot of annoyance. There's a lot of things that happen in this game that just even more compound and compact all of the frustrations that I'm continuously feeling around this club. We're going to talk about that. We're going to get your thoughts in the comments section as well, and have a bit of a therapy session as we do, because I wrote down on the last podcast how long it had been since Arsenal had last won a game in pod years. We were at 1.6 days is what we were at. 1.6 days since Arsenal last won a league game. I think it's 1.7 now. That's how long, how many recordings I've done, how many pods, how many shows, if you were adding them all together. I'm in the wrong business. This isn't fair. I don't deserve this. I'm a good person. I don't deserve this. Oh, let's get some of your thoughts in the chat. Or use these to form the structure of the show. Tomodo Ted says, I'm not a keeper, and my positioning is better than Runnerson's. Tell me, Leno did start against Liverpool, didn't he? I'm not imagining that. Leno definitely started and played and won a penalty shootout against Liverpool. He did, didn't he? And I'm pretty sure, you can tell me if I'm wrong, and maybe when El Nenny's on the pitch is it's a bit of an anomaly. But I'm pretty sure that the goalkeeper does the least running out of any player on the pitch. Any player on the pitch. I'm pretty sure. Why weren't Leno playing against Man City? I get Runnerson starting in the Europa League. I do. I get it. I also get that in hindsight, it's very easy to turn around after being beaten 4-1 to say that, yeah, if he had won a penalty shootout, but he didn't. He didn't. And he's looked suspect in the other games. He looked suspect against Dundalk. He looked suspect in that game. Why are you chucking him into a cup quarter-final? When it's not like when we used to have Szczesny and Ospina. He's not a starting number one for a decent country. He's not a Colombian number one. He's not the current Napoli goalkeeper. It's not like that. Ospina was miles ahead of this guy. Ospina was way better. I have dreams of Ospina now. I long for Ospina. That's where I feel. That's where I'm at. I'm desperate for Ospina back. Oh, just why? Sum up Runnerson in one word for me, people. In the chat box, one word, just one. Try and make it as inventive as you possibly can. But sum up Runnerson for me in one word, because it's just unreal at this stage. I just don't get why you pick him over Leno. I didn't. A lot of people didn't even want us to win this. They want to focus on the league. But it's a cup quarter final. Even if you don't want us to win, at least hope that your club makes some good decisions. Arsenal Granny says, you're so negative, Tom. We've won one game in 10 league games. How can you blame me? Even me, the voice of positivity amongst Arsenal content creators, who I know go to for reasonable level head. And we're going to have that. We're going to have the level-headed discussion. But you cannot criticise me for being a bit negative right now. Because if you're not a little bit suspect, if you're not a little bit doubtful, like any good disciple ever is, any good disciple gets a little bit doubtful at some stage, you're on Prozac. Like, I just don't. I don't. Here we go. Value. Porous. That's a good word. What other words have we got? Rubbish. Suspect. And ambidextrous. Is that like where you've got no coordination at all? It's the opposite. If Santi Cazorla was a keeper, he's the opposite of that. That's what he is. This is rock bottom, Tom. Yeah, I know you were tweeting me, Dre. Tweeting me, son. Incompetent, says Chris. Shambolic, says Beaver Paul. Bambi, says John. Clown, says Jezza. Yeah. Okay. Let's do the level-headed positive bit, and then I can go on my rant. So, the level-headed bit, which I tweeted out towards the end of the game, was between City's first goal and their second goal, I think we can draw positives from that period in the game. I think there are positives to be drawn from that period. I think Arsenal created chances. I think Arsenal made City in that period look pretty much on par with us. Runnison pulled off a good save. And you have to, there's only one person to focus on from this game. And he only played 45 minutes. 47. Stupidly 47. And that's Martinelli. I mean, if we summed up Martinelli, if we summed up Runnison in one word, then the words that you would describe Martinelli are the complete opposite of that. Martinelli is just everything Arsenal have missed. Absolutely everything. Fight, pressing, desire, a good crosser of the ball. Just the tenacity to get back to that second ball. His first cross didn't work out. Came back out. Where is he? He's straight back on the wing trying to win it. And he got injured fighting for a ball with Zach Steffen, which he was unlucky not to come away with first. And fingers crossed he's not injured horrifically again. I'm sure it's... I don't think it's a major... I don't think it's... this is based on nothing except what I've witnessed. I don't get the feeling it's a major injury, and it might now keep him out of Chelsea, which is so crap. Some would say, why play him in this game? I put him in my desired 11 just because I wanted to see him out of desperation, but I'm not a manager. I don't make the decisions. I can't really be blamed for wanting to see Martinelli play. But maybe we shouldn't have played him. Martinelli was amazing, says Daniel Robert. Good cross by Martinelli at least, says Joseph Maseko. Martinelli is electric. Injured is the word they used to describe him. Luke Skywalker, says Brian Robles. I'm honest, I don't get why you start him in the second half. Why start him in the second half? Why go about doing that? He's clearly injured. You clearly haven't learned from your mistakes with Partey, where you had an entire week to decide whether you wanted to start him or not. Do not start a player in the second half that has just been on the floor crying his arse out. I have a very strong feeling he may have overreacted ever slightly. But you don't start a guy that's clearly limping, clearly injured, that's just come back from a major injury and that's suffered an impact problem with Zach Steffen. You do not put him on the pitch for the second half. There's two people you can blame. You can blame Arteta for making the final call. He's the main guy. He's the main guy. And you can turn around and blame the medical staff. Our medical staff are a joke. It is the joke of England, our medical staff. The amount of times that players join the club, get injured straight away, and there is no inquiries made about this at all. Nothing. There are no inquiries made about it whatsoever. It's honestly. Carnage 1618 TGT on Twitch. Thank you, Carnage, for tuning in. Our first comment from Twitch. I don't know why I'm doing Twitch, but I am. I'm on Twitch now, so it's a thing. It's a thing. So check us out on Twitch. Major, making moves. Now Arsenal, who was obviously on with us. Toby, good to have you in the chat, mate, says Tom. I said on the Let's Talk Arsenal chat, I didn't want Martinelli to start. And you mean you've been justified, Toby. You've been completely justified, mate. Chris Giwa says, whoever we're buying from January, just up the price tag by another 10 million. Calvin Cloet says, can anyone explain to me why Saliba can't get in this team? Oh, man. Mustafi. Mustafi. The thing is, like, and Kolasinac playing there as well. You've got Marie on the bench, who's a left-footed centre-back, and you want to play 3 at the back, and you're putting Kolasinac, who is about as good as Manan. She's not around anymore. Got a bit deep. But he's about as good as she would be right now at football. And it's an utter joke. The team selections in that competition was a joke. We've got Chelsea at the weekend. It's an important game. We knew there was going to be rotation, but at least make some sensible decisions. Because even though I have been kind of trying to make sense of the whole Saliba thing, this was a chance. Like it was a chance that you could have tested him against a Premier League side. He's eligible. You could use him. You could play him. I think. Tell me if I'm wrong. But I'm pretty sure you can still play him. Pretty sure. Yes, Jay Kocho. Thank you ever so much. I'm sure I'm pronouncing the name wrong. Thank you for tuning in, mate, on Twitch. Absolute legend. Honestly. What's the point? What's the point? Like, you're not even giving the kid confidence. It's an opportunity to play him. Even put him in the squad. He wasn't even in the squad. And there should be journalists asking the questions in the press conference. There should be someone asking, why didn't you give Saliba an opportunity in this game? Why have you given Kolasinac and Mustafi, whose contract is expiring at the end of the season, and Kolasinac, who we know we want to try and sell? You've got Marie on the bench, who's going to be here in the long term, you'd expect, because he's just signed a long-term deal. Why does he not play? He's played a full game in the Champions League. I mean, who is even on the bench? Let me just check the whole bench, because I'm sure there was... Why is Emile Smith-Rowe not going to start? Martinelli, and I really wanted him to play, Martinelli, but he's just come back from a long-term injury. Emile Smith-Rowe can play on the left and has played on the left, and he doesn't get a start. And you know what he did as soon as he came on? He played a through ball into Lacazette for a chance. And it wasn't a chance from a cross. And yes, it was from a wide position. It was a tight angle. But he played an incisive pass. Do you know how long I've longed for an Arsenal player to play an incisive through ball? Do you know how long it's been since I can remember Arsenal doing that? Emile Smith-Rowe comes on and plays one immediately. Immediately, he plays an incisive ball through for Lacazette. No matter what the angle, it was still a chance created by Emile Smith-Rowe. And it's just so sickening that we can't give these guys chances, that we can't give these guys opportunities. So we had Leno, Tierney, Marie, Smith-Rowe, Pepe, Nketiah and Balogun. I mean, Nketiah being there is pointless. Absolutely pointless, Nketiah being there. If you've got Balogun on the bench, why is Nketiah there? Fill that spot with Saliba. Just put Saliba there instead of Nketiah. It makes no... You've got Pepe on the bench, you've got Balogun on the bench, and you've got Smith-Rowe on the bench. There's your 3 attacking subs. Why is Nketiah there? Makes no sense at all. At least put Saliba in there, so if we're either losing by loads or winning by loads, which is never going to happen, you can at least bring him on for some experience and to get him in there. It's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. Oh, did I say Champions League? That's what level I'm at. Yeah, sorry. He played a full match in the Europa League. I'm living in the past. Unbelievable. It's just, I don't understand it. You've spent, and that's the thing, is that, like, I've written articles about Saliba's performances in the youth team competitions, and he's not perfect. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I think Saliba right now is a top class player. I don't think that. He's made mistakes. His passing is a little bit off. His decision making in times is a little bit off. But he's an investment that we've put a lot of money into and has big potential that has been seen at Liga and in Liga against some decent sides. It's a decent league, no matter what anyone says about it. It's still a decent league. And he's put week in, week out performances when he was fit and when he was playing. So to not put him in the squad minimum is just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous at this stage. It costs more than Gabriel. It's a great point, Anthony. It's a fantastic point. He cost more than Gabriel, Saliba did. Chris Giwa says, someone earlier said Arteta was risking players. Do you think he may be under more pressure than we think? Could his sacking be imminent, especially when we lose to Chelsea? I don't think so. I don't think so. Just that Kamala says, oh my God, Tom, Mahrez just said he was blown away and surprised by Runnisson's positioning. Was he? Has Mahrez actually said that? Let me just check. Has Mahrez actually just said that? Oh, here we go. Let me just plug these in. I'll give you a feed. Oh, wow, he did actually say it. Unbelievable. I couldn't give you a thing because it was slow. Sorry, you can check it out. You've just watched me for 10 seconds. Just sit there looking at the screen. Oh, he's just unreal. It's just unbelievable. And the thing is, and I saw Woz, I'm sure you follow Woz, or some of you do. James Cook, good friend of the show, tweets out saying, surely Macy can't be that much worse than Runnison. And Woz replied saying that he is. I replied saying I think it's untrue, and I think it is. I don't think Macy is that much worse, if at all, than Runnison. To the point at which you have to say that if Macy and the difference between Macy and Runnison is so small, why waste £2 million on him? Why? What's the point in wasting £2 million and wages? Just play Macy. And then if you need a third choice keeper, we've got Okonkwo, who's the young keeper playing on the youth side. Why would you waste the money? And why we played him in the first place? I still can't get my head around it. I still can't get my head around why we played him in the first place. Against Man City in a cup quarter-final, and you play a £2 million keeper that has looked shaky at best in every performance he's played so far, where he's actually been tested. That's what I don't get. That's what I don't understand. Now, GK says, I feel like Pepe is only good when the whole team plays good. I mean, I thought Pepe came on and offered a little bit. He had a decent shot saved by Stefan. I'm hopefully he can give us something if he plays. I mean, you know what the most worrying thing was about the lineup today? Willian was nowhere to be seen. Willian was nowhere to be seen in the squad. And that's worrying. And you know exactly why that is worrying. Because it means that Willian is starting against Chelsea. After that performance against Everton, he must be starting. If he's not in the squad at all, he has to surely be starting. Surely he's starting. If he doesn't start, I'll be shocked. And if he doesn't start, or if he's not in the squad, then something has to have happened. Because to not put him in the whole squad for today's game against City, which I thought was kind of maybe a game where he would. I was tempted to put him in the lineup prediction. As I thought he might get picked. But yeah, no. Just really, he's going to start against Chelsea. He's going to start against his former club, and who know him inside out from the years he's been there, and it's going to be an absolute joke to watch, isn't it? It's going to be an absolute joke. Toby says, Tom Arteta killing Balogun's confidence, bring him on in the last. I don't mind him bringing him on there. What annoys me, Toby, is that he made a clear run, and I tweeted, that's the only time I got animated in the entire game because I was very kind of accepting of things. I was buzzing when we scored, and I definitely kind of jumped up for the score, which is, because scoring a goal at Arsenal is an amazing thing to witness these days. But other than the goal, the only time I was really kind of animated during the game was when Kolasinac had the opportunity to play Balogun through, who'd made a really good run, and Kolasinac weren't even keen. Weren't even bothered. Didn't even try. Was looking inside the whole time. Looking passively. Looking who's inside. Not looking ahead of him. Because that's the mentality right now. That's the mentality of the team. Is that everyone is looking inside. No one's looking ahead of them. No one wants to try and do something protagonistic. Everyone just wants to play the safe pass. That is the thing about us right now, is everyone just wants to try and play safe because they don't want to be the guy that gives the ball away because they know what criticism is going to come with that. I'm sorry, but you've got to start taking risks, Arsenal. You've got to start taking some risks. You've got to start making these passes count because eventually The reason why one of the reasons Lacazette's been so poor, one of the reasons why Aubameyang started being so poor, is because they stopped making a lot of the runs that they would have made before, because they know if they make these runs, no one's finding them. Absolutely no one is finding them with their runs, because Ozil's not in the squad. Emile Smith-Rowe is not being picked, and they're the only two guys that can really play the incisive passes in the squad. I'm not saying that Ozil's the answer to all our problems. I always like to point that out whenever I bring him up. But he and Emile Smith-Rowe are the only central, natural, creative midfielders in the team. So they just stop making the runs. You've got a young kid in Balogun that comes straight into the team. First thing he does, because it's instinctual, because he's doing it for the under-23s, he makes a run. Is he found? No, of course he's not found, because we decided to play the pass inside. Because we are so unbelievably passive and so unbelievably boring and safe and just cowards. We're just a cowardly team now. That's where we are, is we are just a cowardly team. Utterly cowardly. Thomas Lewis says, exactly, we have been penetrated by Chelsea players and they are causing havoc. That's an image. Cookie Monster says, Pepe is a risky player. He will lose the ball and mess up. Tony Mill says, William will get an own goal and an assist. 2 more for Chelsea, guaranteed. The Brotherhood says, even Aubameyang doesn't make those purposeful runs anymore. Arteta needs to take a chance on Balogun. Yeah, well, that's the thing, though. It's not about him. It's not a criticism. It is a criticism in a way, because you want him to be making the runs. But I can't even blame him. I can't even blame Aubameyang for not making those runs, because no one's going to make that pass to him. No one's going to try. No one's really going to be bothered about making the run for him. So how can I moan about Aubameyang and Lacazette not making those runs anymore? Because no one's bothering. So you can't blame them. Let's get some more comments. Let's get someone from our Twitch. Jay Kochko says, oh yeah, that chance for Kolasinac to make the forward and send it out wide was baffling. Hilmi says, I can't imagine how hard it must be to fix Arsenal right now. Disaster from top to bottom. Even Southampton is better than us in every circumstance. Chris P says, Tom, cheer up. It's Christmas next. It is. This is going to be our last reaction until Christmas. What a wonderful time to be alive. Hopefully there can be some good news in the near future that will pep us up, or pep me up anyway. Mully says, 1 shot on target. Really? No, wasn't it 2? Because Pepe had that shot on target. I thought we had more than that. Alexandra Lawson says, Willock had a freeway to Man City's goal and still made a pass inside. That's all we do. We just pass inside. Says the pot filter's not working. I've got a pot filter. I think it's your laptop. It's definitely your laptop, mate. It's not me. I'm so done with this. I'm so done. We're trying to work this out now. Russ Morgan says, last reaction until Arteta leaves tomorrow. One in the up says, the only running Aubameyang wants to do is run down his contract. And I don't... He's only just signed it. He's only just signed it. Renate says, Cedric said it was better in Southampton. 1 HP says, Kolasinac takes too long to take throw-ins. This is the level that we're getting to now, as we're criticising throw-ins on a daily basis. It's the highlight of our week. We're going to start having some tactical breakdowns of throw-ins. That's what we're going to be right now. Christopher Fung says, Arsenal is like the Grinch, stole Christmas from us. That and Boris, obviously. Thoughts on Runnison? Scroll back in the video, mate. I go in hard. It's fair to say, because he's useless. Useless. A says, January couldn't come sooner. Matt Gray says, positive, no foul throws. Oh, we've got another Twitch listener. Good to have you guys in here. T. Girish Kumar says, last season was best of Moyes and Van Gaal, but this season is the worst of both. Wow, we're using Man United analogies now to say how bad we are at Arsenal. Gary Hardy says, what formation and team would you want to see if everyone was fit? Okay. I was thinking, can I come up with a lineup builder? If we get the lineup builder out, then we can all put our favourite team together. Is this the one I use? It's not. Come on. Surely I have where's the lineup builder? It's just lineupbuilder.com, isn't it? Yes, it is. Okay. Right, let's share my screen. Guys. Let's get building. Our favourite team. Here we go. This is just a joke because it's going to put together who I actually think. Now, we're going to start off with this lineup. We're going to start off with this team with the players that actually still deserve to be at the club. That's what we're going to do, is we're going to put the best possible team together that we want to see, and we're going to start off with the players that deserve to still be here. Now, some of them you may disagree with, but we'll get there. So, I'm playing a 4-3-3. Oh, here we go. Okay, so here, obviously, first name on the team sheet when everyone is fit is Partey. Absolutely no shadow of a doubt. On my right, I'm putting Saka. On my left, I'm putting Martinelli. Ugh, I can't spell today. Oh, for goodness sake. Oh, up front, we're going to have to go over Aubameyang. He has to play. Who else is there? Tierney. Our boy Tierney. Gabs. Big Gabriel. This is Tierney first. Okay, Tierney first. What are we saying? Tierney first. 4-2-3-1 is how you think. Yeah, we'll get there. It's going to be a weird three. Alba up top. Martinelli. Yes. Lefefe, Leno in goal, but I'd actually sell him and pull in Donnarumma. I mean, we're going to put Leno in, obviously. I do rate the guy. I know a lot of people don't. Martinelli up front, Aubameyang on the left is what Tulip thinks we should do. Dreams. I mean, if we're honest, what I've put there, oh, yes, Emil Smith-Rowe. Yes, ESR. Sorry for the players that we've got right now. Who's going next to Partey? Mainsley? Is that what we go? Mainsley. It's got to be Mainsley, isn't it? It's going to have to be Mainsley. Mainsley's going in the midfield. Now, the thing is that lineup, and we haven't done the right centre-back yet, because the right centre-back, what, Saliba? Saliba's going to go here, isn't he? Because he's going to get played. Saliba, right back, is going to be Osei Tutu. We haven't seen him play at all, but that's who's going at right back, because I'm so done with both of the ones we've got at the moment other than him. Deary me, guys. Oh, Jesus. So, that lineup, right? Aziz, you could go for Aziz. Now, we have to pick some players now for January. This is our last show before Chelsea, and then that is the last show before January. This is quite a good thing we can do here. We can win the championships. There's something with this team. That's what we can do. We can win. We can win it. Now, we need to buy someone at right back. So who's that right back going to be? Well, it's going to be Aarons. It's got to be Aarons. Saliba can be promoted. Mainsley, we're going to move you out, mate. Basuma's coming in. Emil Smith-Rowe, you're coming out. Buendia's coming in. Okay. Now that team, if you look at that team, we've added 3 players to it. So we're saying like this squad is done. Squad is dead. Squad is over. Our team is terrible. Our team is dreadful. But when you actually think about it, we're a few signings away from making it a hell of a lot better. A hell of a lot better. And it's just so frustrating to know that we can be a few signings away. And I'm not saying that these signings that I've put on here are going to save all of our asses. I'm not saying that at all. But it's amazing what just a few signings make the difference to a team. And if everyone's fit, and if everyone's available, and if we use the players in the right way, it's just crazy how different a team can suddenly look with a few players. I feel almost bad doing that to you and showing you how easy it is to just see how much of a kind of a different, so you can see. But I'm praying, and let's not time out people that spam in the chat. I'm praying that when we go into this January window, we can just change something. We can just do something better. And it's just frustrating because you know it's not going to happen. You know it's not going to happen. You know it's not. It's really irritating that you know that you look on the surface and you look at what Arsenal could do. You look at the things that are available and could happen, and it's not. And it's not. And that sucks. It sucks so much to be an Arsenal fan right now because there is no faith in the recruitment. There's no faith that we might get what we need to. We've got another Twitch listener, Klein. Good to have in chat, mate. Play Pepe centrally. Possibly. I didn't even include Pepe. How mad's that? 72 million quid, and I didn't even think about him. Didn't even think about him. That sends you a message. That sends you a message, doesn't it? It's absolutely mental. Igbo says, I trust Arteta to steady the ship till the summer. I think we should only judge after the summer window and into next season. One in E up says, what's happened with George Lewis? Maybe give him minutes. No, George. No. He's very much a youth player. Very, very much a youth player. Joseph Maseko says, Tom, stop putting faith in this club. Oh, Joe, I've got a question to ask you. Can you send me a DM on Twitter with the evidence that you've got that suggests that Kroenkes weren't involved in the Partey signing, please? I want to see that evidence that you're chatting about. Yannick. Where's Yannick? I haven't shown Yannick any love today. We're screaming for Basuma and Buendia. We're in the gutter. So now Yannick. This is such a Yannick comment. We're gonna create an emoji. It's gonna be hashtag Yannick comment. This is the problem with a lot of the Arsenal fan base for me. A massive problem is we're so snobby. We're so snobbish with the way in which we look at possible players and the way that Arsenal need to go about their business. And we're sitting there going, yeah, we need to sign this guy from this club in Europe. And actually what Arsenal need to do is be a little bit more sensible and start signing some players from within England. That's what we need to do. That is what needs to change. Mikey says, send it on my DM, Twitter, at The Gonna Talk TV, mate. If not, leave it as a comment after the video. JT says, what you make of Arteta's answers about Pepe's attitude? I don't know. Has he said anything about... Let's go to Chris Whitty. Chris Whitty? Chris Whitty. Chris Wheatley. For those that live in abroad, Chris Whitty is the guy that's been filling our TV screens with Boris talking about you know what. Chris has said, come on. Surely you've tweeted about him. Surely. Well, let's see. Guardiola. He's tweeted about Guardiola, but we've heard nothing from Arteta as of yet. Oh, wait. Yes, we have. On Runnison, he hasn't played a lot of games for us. He hasn't. Oh, let's get this on screen so you guys can see it. Stop screen, share screen, go to the press conference. Here we go. Arteta on the transfer window. We are looking at options that we have, players coming in and out. We will see what happens. A really complicated window with the way football... excuses in early. On the game, a really hard one to take considering how the game went against the level opponent. When you give away the goals that we did, it makes it impossible. He hasn't played a lot of games on Runnison. He hasn't adapted to the league, and that's it. I'm sorry. Okay, let's make excuses for the guy. You started him in a cup quarter-final against Man City. So you can't sit here and say that he's not adapted to... What does a goalkeeper need to do to adapt to the league? He's a goalkeeper. What adaptation does the goalkeeper need to do? He speaks English. He's got gloves. What adaptation is there? Someone tell me in the chat. What is the adaptation that a goalkeeper has to do to the league? What? I don't understand. I'm struggling to get my head around why a goalkeeper has to adapt to a new league. Please tell me. Sweaty Defender in Twitch says Arteta going to give a percentage about the chances of that free kick going in. Daniel Roberts says you don't need to adapt to a league to catch a ball. It's just unreal. The level of excuses, the excuses that are coming out is so frustrating. We all make mistakes and we have to support him. You just don't play. If he's not ready, if he's not adapted to the league, don't play him yet. Don't play him. It's just as simple as that. We're not going to be on the show to cover the whole press conference. I'm sorry. Guardiola on Arteta says, I didn't speak with him. We'll speak in the next days. What can I say in our position as a manager will be judged by the results. Only I can say I was with him a long period, the most successful period our club has ever had. Sometimes in our job we need time. It's time to be patient. He's an outstanding manager, incredible work ethic, and puts the club in front of any decisions he has to make. And ultimately, he can't say he's an excellent manager because there's no evidence of that yet. There's no evidence that he's an amazing manager. What he did last season, he was a head coach. A manager and a head coach are two very different things, and you can't compare them. It's not professional to compare those two. It just doesn't work. Does not work whatsoever. Anymore. Let's refresh. Come on, Chris. Come on, mate. You got to tweet these out. Is it Chris that's doing it? Yeah, it is Chris. Come on, Chris. Get these tweeted out quicker, son. Anything else? Mahrez on Runnelson's error. Riyad Mahrez says, I was surprised about the positioning of the keeper. He was so close to the post. I mean, when the opposition coming out and literally criticising our goalkeeper, that is the level. That is where we're at, is that the opposition wingers are coming out and criticising our goalkeeper's positioning. That Mahrez knows more about a goalkeeper's positioning than anything else. Just unbelievable how it's so easy. Come on, keep an eye. Oh, okay, well, it's clearly not. Maybe Charles Watts. Come on, Charles. You can tell me what's going on. You can give me some updates, surely. Oh, no, he's off. He's off work. He's not working. Oh, Charles. Right, my last one. James Benj. Come on, James. Come on, James. Help me. Help me. No tweets yet. God, what's going on? I tell you, if I was in that press conference, I'd be tweeting it for you live. I'd be tweeting it every second. Every single second. See what person Arteta's pout is the best in the league. Thomas Lear says Pep is ridiculous. Only bigging up his mate. Guna Pedro says Mahrez has adapted to the league though. Yeah, Mahrez has adapted to the league so he could take a free kick. Hilmi says, but if Arteta gets sacked, we didn't trust the board to get a proper replacement. And it's a good point. If he does get sacked, do we really trust this board to get in the next person? Do we really trust them? I could see them putting Steve Bold in charge. That's the level I think they go to, as I reckon they put Steve Bold in charge for a bit. Toby says, Overmars for the sporting director role. It is vacant since Raul left. We need a senior figure truly running the club from behind the scenes, since both Arteta and Edu are inexperienced. Vinyl London says, I can't stand Arteta. He's making Arsenal hard to watch. Daniel Roberts says, Martinelli is out for the Chelsea game. Is that being confirmed? I'm assuming it's being tweeted. Martinelli, Chelsea. Let's just check. James Ollie. Let's see if he's tweeted anything. Nope. Martinelli, Chelsea. Martinelli, Chelsea. Not seen anything yet. Where have you seen that, Dan? Tell me, mate. Tell me where you've seen that. Jeffrey says, I love Arteta. Fair play, Jeffrey. Fair play, mate. Avinash says Arteta is pushing for Isco. He is no better than the recruitment. He was raving about Willian. Carrie Brown TV. Who is that? Who is this person? Sports correspondent. Come on, Carrie. Looks like Martinelli is out of CFC. We'll need a couple of days. Okay. He's out of Chelsea. Great. Fantastic. Wonderful. Wonderful scenes. Jay Kochko says, you'd think Arsenal loves to see adjusting to the league so much. They will never get a league-proven player ever. Gula Talk Let's Talk says, I'm sorry, but Mainsley is not a good midfielder. He's the only player who escapes criticism. No, he's not. I didn't think he had the best game. There you go. Karthik says, if you search Martinelli Chelsea on Twitter, you only get the goal, Tom. Yeah, I found, well, as I say, I can't see anything else at the moment. I'm still waiting for an update on Football London. It's been 10 minutes since the last one, so I don't really know what's going on there. Ecal Sticker says, be excited. Some of you still trust these guys. Thomas Lear says, I know it's depressing. There's a cancer at our club. I don't like it when people use that word to describe things, to be honest. It's not very sensitive, is it? Alex says, I know this is an Arsenal podcast, Tom, but for once, can we just talk about something else? Yes, what you need to do is you need to go and check out Raul de Thomas's goal for Espanyol last weekend. That's what you need to do. That'll cheer you up. Toby says, who would be your ideal Arteta replacement? Mine is Nagelsmann or Ten Hag. Hassan Hutul is the only person that I think is a legitimate candidate right now for me. Toby says, who would be your... Oh, we just did that. Chris says, do we really trust Arteta to properly use any new January signing? Well, if it's his signing, you would hope so. You would hope so. Tom scored, by the way. Did he? Who? Me? Scored 8 years ago. I'm living with her now. Sanyik says, apart from the fans, nobody cares about the club. Brian Robles says, Edu said Willian is still adjusting, so who knows how long it will take for Runnison. Still no updates. Really? Surely something's been said in the last 10 minutes. Surely. JT says, Southampton manager is a great shout. Girish, Kumar says, goal from open play. # progress. Charlie and Guyan says, a couple of signings will not make us better. We got to root out the problems from the top or else nothing will ever change. If as a player you can't believe in the club, how can you play for the club? And it's a fair point. And January, trust me, January should not as a priority be about incomings. January should be about a priority of getting players out, getting as many deep-rooted issues in terms of players gone, out, done. Ozil out, Sakai's out, Mustafi out, Runnison out. Just get them out. Kolasinac out. Cedric out. Get these players gone. R94, Tom, didn't you ridicule the idea of starting Balogun over Eddie a few months ago? Yeah, I did. You know, R94, as I'm sure you have been in life, I'm sure you have been wrong. And this is one of those times. Daniel Roberts says, we looked good in the training. Farah B says, Eddie Howe is available. David Keefe says, how many of these failures are still adapting to playing football? Gary Mullen says, would you have Guendouzi or Torreira in your squad, Tom? I wouldn't have Guendouzi. I have no time for the guy, honestly. After everything that he's done, he can do one, as far as I'm concerned. If he wants to turn around and apologise for the way he's brought the club into disrepute, which is genuinely how I feel about him. The same with Xhaka. Exactly the same with Xhaka. Both of them can do one. Willian can do one. They haven't been consistent with any of those. Torreira, if he came... Sure. Absolutely no problem with that. Rydog says, nobody wants our Deadwood. Setting yourself up for disappointment. And I'm talking about not even selling. I'm saying Socrates and Ozil pay out their contracts. Get them gone. Get them out of the club. Stop them from festering and infecting the club with the negativity that they are bringing. There's nothing positive going to be coming from them at all. Guendouzi's attitude stinks, says Club Visits Ibiza. Hilmi says, hoping a sheikh willing to buy Arsenal. This club sponsored by Emirates, but owned by an American. Thomas Lear says, but Tom, do you trust the club to do... Is that a rhetorical question? I think that's a rhetorical question. Carnage 1618 says, didn't PSG want Socrates on deadline? No, they didn't. Napoli are supposedly interested from what I've heard. That's about it. I don't even know how concrete it is. It's just whispers. Dust and echoes. Panrasta1 says, Tom, we've got Karius Runnison as our number 2 keeper. If Leno picks up an injury, then God help us. JT says, how many times did you genuinely fall asleep during the game this season? None, to be fair. I've been bored through a few of them knowing what's going to happen. But I haven't fallen asleep yet. Have not been falling asleep yet. Rydog says, Guendouzi plays like he cares. And I'm sorry, but a player that runs about the pitch is the biggest myth, the biggest wall over a person's eyes is when a player runs about a lot. I can run about a lot for about a couple of minutes. You know, it's been a while. ACL injury and all. But it's just a player that runs about a lot is just someone that likes running about a lot. It's about what you do with those runs. Like, you look at Ozil's stats of running. He runs about a lot. But the way he runs isn't great, and the way Guendouzi runs isn't great. So that's for me. That's for me is the problem. SG, thank you for the donation, mate. Much appreciate that. Trying to cheer me up. Appreciate that muchly. Jay Kochko says Napoli can have Socrates at this point. Michael says it might take a couple of windows. It will take a couple of windows. I'm not expecting it. I'm not expecting it to at all. Arteta's interview is up on Sky Sports. It won't be word for word, annoyingly. Here we go. We're still waiting for Mikel Arteta to arrive here for his press. Okay. Thank you, Chris. At least thank you for telling us that. So they're still waiting. We're still waiting for him. So this must be what he said after the game. So what we're going to have to do is tomorrow morning I'll be jumping on to discuss a lot of what Arteta has said from the press conference. That's going to round off today's show. Thank you to the over 1,000 of you that have been listening today. I really appreciate your time. Appreciate you tuning in, even though it's not been the most positive thing. This is the last Raw reactions straight after a game until Christmas. So have a very, very Merry Christmas. Enjoy it as best you can during these tough times. And join us straight after the Chelsea game on Boxing Day. As I said, I'll be live tomorrow morning, UK time. So if you're in the East, you'll get a nice afternoon show. If you're in the West, either you're going to have to get up very early or you're going to have to watch that one on playback. But I'll be up tomorrow morning early to discuss Arteta's comments after this game and looking ahead, of course, to whatever lies in front of Arsenal, as well as doing the classic Q&A after a game. So, yeah, that's going to be fun. Are we almost on 100 likes? Let me just check. If we get to 100 likes, I said I would say those words. Let me just check how many likes we are actually on. Are we actually on 100? We're on 81. I'm going to refresh the stream in 20 seconds. If we're on 100 likes, then we'll get it. You know what we want. Oh, see now, Yannick, I've got to time you out for using the keyword. Oh, that's such a shame, Yannick. It's your first time out. But you used the words. I have to time you out. It's the rule. It's a TGT rule. If you say that word, you get timed out. Right, we're refreshing. Have we liked the video? Let's see. Are we at 100 likes? It's at 103. We got there. Thank you guys ever so much for your support. As always, you're absolute legends. I love every single one of you, and you make these much, much easier to go through, even though we're in a really, really rough time. If you'd like to join our daily chat, and we do chat daily, well, a lot of the Discord people do. I drop in there every now and again. But if you drop into the Discord server, click that join button in the description, join up as an expert member, and you can get access to our Discord server, as well as some exclusive content and some amazing emojis, which by no means are bad omens whatsoever. So there you go. Thank you ever so much for listening. It's been a pleasure to speak to you as always. I will see you again very, very soon. Cheerio, and as always, up the Arsenal.